What's up, everybody? This is Zack, aka Zacky, creator of Jetlag Radio and many more podcasts and website, zack.coffee, that's zack.2ffe. Right now, we're almost approaching Jetlag Radio 4000, Jetlag Radio 4000, which will be a major podcast. It will be a great podcast. I have to work on it. It's going to take some time. And due to the complexity of the Jetlag Radio operating system, the JLR OS, and for stabilizing the software, I will have to do a lot of work so I can get to Jetlag Radio 4100. I have to get to Jetlag Radio 4100 as soon as possible. So that means 100 episode as soon as possible, 100 episodes as soon as possible. That means I need to reach out to my friends, to my DJs. If you have a bunch of new music, let me know. That means that's at least 18 songs per podcast. So we're talking about 1,800 songs. So I really need some help. Whatever your label is, I know that Armin van Buren has his Armada Records label. I know that Ferry Corsten has his Flashover Recordings label. I know that Tiesto has his musical Freedom label. I know that Martin Garrix has his Stomped Records label. Hardwell has his own label. All you guys, please provide a bunch of new music. And I didn't forget you, Don Diablo. Don Diablo means a lot to me, guys. For you guys who don't know, the first time I got sick around 2008, and I started to have problems with mental health. One of the first person I was able to reach out in the DJ community was Don Diablo. So Don Diablo, shout out to you. You've been doing great music for a while on your Hexagon radio, Hexagon Records label, and Hexagon podcast. So a big shout out to Don Diablo, who's been in the game for a very long time, and we hope that he climbs up the DJ Top 100 ladder. As you can see, I'm wearing my Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty jersey, and that's because we've been playing Cyberpunk 2077 in Japanese on the PlayStation. I've been live streaming it, and it's amazing. I love the game. The game in Japanese is even better, and obviously with the English subtitles. But I just hope that in the next generation of the game, Cyberpunk 2, I hope that they provide all the languages on one disc and all the languages on one download, as opposed to make it complicated where it's very, very hard to possess a Japanese version. Because if you had seen the voice acting, the talent of the voice acting in Japanese, now you understand why I like to play games in Japanese audio, because the voice acting in Japanese is just so strong. It's a little bit like, when you watch Dragon Ball Z in Japanese and then you watch Dragon Ball Z in English. It's kind of like in Japanese, you're just baffled by how amazing these characters are. And then when you listen to them in English, it's kind of like they're a little bit constipated or something. So it's not the same. Anyway, guys, we're going to go straight into the show because I have to do a lot of writing. And the reason is due to quantum mechanics. I have to get some writing done into the future to prevent, make sure that not bad things happen in the future. Because in the future, we're having a somber anniversary of the terrorist attacks in France, which happened on the 13th of November, 2015. So it's going to be the 10th anniversary. It's a very somber anniversary. So we need to do a lot of work into the future, prepare, make sure everything is fine, just so that to make sure that nothing goes bad or anything like that. So that's why it's quantum mechanics, and you travel through the future to make sure you predict that everything should be a-okay and everything is fine. I've done the similar fashion when we were close to October 7th. Remember when we were close to October 7th and we were worried that stupid Netanyahu was going to do something dangerous and terrible? Well, he did, but it could have been a whole lot worse. He could have pulverized Palestine even worse than he has done so. But I was able to make sure I write way in advance to make sure that when it was October 7th, he didn't start to launch another war into 6 countries at the same time, which he has done in the past. He's tried to attack Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, Iran, and he just went on and on just because he's just so annoying and problematic. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into the show. I gotta get quick because then I have to do a video for the future for Tuesday. This is the video for Monday, October 27th. Monday, October 27th. So, coffee with Zack. Drink a little bit of coffee. All right, let's get into it. A conversation with Catherine Bigelow, director of The House of Dynamite, and screenwriter Noah Oppenheim. This is by Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. So they're reviewing the movie House of Dynamite. Now, as you know, I've seen the movie House of Dynamite. I saw it in theaters, and then I saw it on Netflix. And I liked the movie, but I can't help but to see some kind of racist undertones, and I can't stress this enough. You know, you have a black president, and then when he calls his wife, lo and behold, she happens to answer the call in Africa. Now, she could have answered this phone anywhere, but for some reason she's in Africa saving wildlife or whatever. You know, that's kind of like really racist. You can't help but wonder, but that's pretty racist. And then, you know, there's all kinds of ruckus because there's about to be a nuclear blast, and the actress who's my favorite, you know, her name is Rebecca Ferguson, but her name is Ferguson, kind of like the Ferguson riots in the streets that happened in America a couple years back. So I don't know, but the way the whole movie happened, spoilers, it's just you know. Spoilers. To pick the end game to be the city to be a Chicago, that's a lot. And then to ask the president not to do anything because you know, retaliation would ensure MAD, which is mutually assured destruction. So they say, you know, either don't provoke or suicide. It's just crazy. It was a terrible choice, and I don't know. The movie was very important, but you know, I wish I'd done more to delve as to where did the missile come from and where did it come from, and it was just we didn't see what happens after the end of the movie, so we don't know if the bomb actually exploded or whatever, if it just landed and nothing happened. So, but watch the movie, see what you think. It's on Netflix, and yeah, still need to watch Tron Ares. I will have to do my best to watch Tron Ares. If I can't find the funds to watch Tron Ares, I will have to watch it on Disney Plus whenever it's released on Disney Plus. All right. Up next, why China is winning the trade wars by The Economist. Great article by The Economist. It goes to show that America, with Trump and his tariffs, are bluffing too much, and China is actually winning the trade war right now. So read the article, more details on that. Next article we have by 1843 how to get ahead in wartime Russia. This is an article about the old elite are fretting as a new cast of characters soars to the top. So read the article and it will go to details to let you know what happened. Up next, Rock and Rule, Japan's first female prime minister. This is a podcast by The Economist. Up next, Steve Bannon on MAGA's momentum in Europe. He says the movement reshaping America is now sweeping across Europe. This is by The Economist videos. And then I mentioned MAGA called once a third Trump term. I suggest we take this movement seriously, but stop them before America falls to fascism. Please understand that Steve Bannon is making the case that because of Brexit, Europe has become very racist, and they're doing everything to keep kicking out all the immigrants. So that's why they're becoming very MAGA. It's very scary, very scary. Up next, meet the real screen addicts, the elderly. This is by The Economist. It goes to show to you, if you thought that teenagers were addicted to cell phones while they were scrolling all the time, it appears that the elderly were the ones scrolling on their phones all the time as well. Up next, as trade tensions escalate over Russian oil imports, EIU explores what's at stake for business exports and India's broader growth outlook. This is by The Economist Intelligence Unit. Be sure to check it out. Up next, what makes a great negotiator according to research? This is by Harvard Business Review. Up next, suspected drug kingpin captured after audacious escape from house arrest. This is by BBC. Up next, Europe never recovered from the fall of Berlin Wall. This is by Bloomberg. Up next, USDA memo says it will not use emergency funds for November food benefits. This is by Reuters. Up next, nearly 2/3 of South Sudanese children in child labor. There's a report on Al Jazeera. Up next, by the New Yorker, there's no peace in Gaza since President Trump announced his plan for a ceasefire. People I know have been killed. One relative described torture during a year in Israeli custody. It goes to show that this ceasefire plan has not worked out, and there's still a lot of people suffering, and they really need our help. Up next, threatening to the peace deal, Trump's administration chides Israeli Knesset vote on West Bank. This is by Politico. Up next, engage with all Afghan parties for inclusion governance, says United Nations by Afghan International. Up next, Microsoft officially confirms it's testing a free ad-supported version of Xbox Cloud Gaming. 3 weeks ago today, we reported how Microsoft's prepping a free version of its Xbox Cloud Gaming service while quizzing the company about bringing this new Halo remake to rival PlayStation. The New York Times also got Microsoft official to confirm it's internally testing the free ad-supported services by The Verge. Up next, how the new His Dark Materials spin-off series explained the book banning wars. It's by Vox. Next, we have only 4 days until TechCrunch Disrupt 2025 kicks off in San Francisco, and ticket rates increase. So I made a comment saying that I don't have $10,000 to spend the weekend in San Francisco. I said, keep marking my salary, especially in Halloween. Good luck. And the reality check is a lot of women who were on these panels at TechCrunch, they performed fellatio to be on the panels. That's just the reality. And then I mentioned the lyrics from one of my favorite rappers in France, ZKR, who says, "Sucer pour monter, c'est pas mon domaine." It was featured on Omega Radio. You want to hear more about it? The song is ZKR Mode Opératoire, and you can listen to it on Omega Radio. That's for the super fans. Go ahead and listen to it, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. We don't do that to climb the ladder. We climb the ladder by the book. Okay, up next by MIT Technology Review, what a massive thermal battery means for energy storage. Up next by Business Insider, air traffic controllers share how they really feel about the shutdown. I really feel bad for those air traffic controllers. It's really a terrible time to be in. They're not being paid. They got a lot of work to do, and they're just exhausted, and they can't even afford breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's bullshit. They need to get paid. They work really long hours. They don't have enough people to help them, and it's tough. They really need some help. System check, all good. Lambda AI factories are now building on NVIDIA GB300 NVL72, the foundation for superintelligence. This is on LinkedIn. This is by Lambda. Lambda is a very cool organization. I really wish back then they used to have a Razer Linux laptop. I wish they could have sent me one. They never did. I was really sad. I really wanted one of their Linux Razer laptop. They don't make them anymore. Up next, X60 Minutes producer Bill Owens says bosses discourage him from covering Gaza and Trump. This is by The Guardian. Up next, Trump administration live updates. Pentagon accepts $130 million donation to help pay for troops during shutdown. This is by the New York Times. This is embarrassing. Aren't you embarrassed? That's really embarrassing. Lors de l'examen du budget 2026, la colère froide de Roland Lescure contre ce député LFI. This is by Huffington Post. It's in French, so you got to care about French news for that. Up next, meurtre de Lola, 12 ans à Paris. Debia Bekir condamnée à la perpétuité incompréhensible. It's by West France. This goes to show that events like this are very sad when it takes place, and unfortunately, it just riles up the Front National, le Rassemblement National, the extreme right, and these murders that take place from time to time just make immigrants look in a bad light, and you must understand that not all immigrants are as bad as this individual. Most immigrants are nice people, and they pay their taxes, and they pay their bills, and they just have just a normal life, and they're just normal people. Up next, tortured to death in Alabama. The state killed Anthony Boyd last night, and the process was anything but humane. This is by the Atlantic. Very sad story. Very sad story. Up next, by 5:38, Mam Dani, in emotional speech, decries Islamophobia and New York City as mayor's race. This goes to show there's a lot of Islamophobia, and it's really bad, and it really needs to stop. Up next, ESPN is fueled by the NBA and sports books. Then came a scandal. This is by Washington Post. Very big story that just broke the other week. Check it out. Up next, Brigitte Macron et le cauchemar sans fin in fake news. This is by Le Monde in French. Yeah, a lot of people are harassing President Macron's wife, saying that maybe she's not a woman. It's really uncalled for. You guys need to understand the reason why there's no photos of Brigitte Macron when she was younger is very simple. What did President Macron said? Brigitte Macron was his French teacher when he was growing up. That means that the two were probably oulala-ish while he was still in school or around that time. So obviously they don't want any pictures to come out because he was having, he was seduced by his French teacher who he eventually married. So that's why there's no photos, because they were afraid that there were paparazzi photos of them, kissing or whatever and this and that. It doesn't mean that she was a man or anything. No, it just means that there's private photos of them when the two of them were together in school. So that's why they got rid of all the photos. That's all it is. Up next, Counter-Strike 2 updates, wipes $2 billion in real money from games economy. It's very Mashable. I'm very happy about this story because I'm so sick and tired of all these skins for games like Counter-Strike 2 and all the other games like that, because we hate microtransactions and we're here to play a video game. I was looking for a skin for Battlefield 2042. I wanted to play the Mass Effect skin and I didn't have it because it's no longer available and I didn't have the funds to buy it. Now it's not even available ever again. Trapped between thrill and shame, the soldiers addicted to war. This is by Vice. This is a very important article. Be sure to read it. Very important. You do need a subscription. Very annoying. Up next, Trump would rather let birth control expire than give it to Africans as aid. This is by The Intercept. Very scary. Very scary. By the way, guys, don't need to mention this again, but if you're sexually active, or even if you're not sexually active, because you might be and you don't know, it might happen. Buy condoms, buy contraception. You never know when that can affect you, because if you don't and you end up pregnant, you will regret it if you're not prepared. I'm talking to you, especially you late high school students who are sophomores, juniors, and seniors. You do not want to be 16 and pregnant. That's why they have so many seasons on MTV, and that's why all those seasons were there to scare you, and your parents were scaring you to make sure this does not happen to you. You're too young to become pregnant. Stay proactive. Condoms, contraception, abstinence does not work. You don't end up pregnant at 16. That's all I got to say. Okay. Up next, dolphins up close. This is by National Geographic. A great story if you like dolphins. It's a great story. Up next by NPR, uncharted territory, ongoing shutdown threatens food aid for 42 million people. This is really scary stuff. The government shutdown, 42 million people out of food, and it's November almost. This is going to be very scary. The indomitable Captain, Sacramento's Republic legend, Roro Lopez announced retirement. This is by Capricorn News. Up next, ONU, un anniversaire sous pression. This is by Le Monde Diplomatique. Up next, Pakistan's Year of Diplomatic Miracles. This is by Foreign Policy. Up next, China's against China. Xi Jinping confronts the downsides of success by Foreign Affairs. Up next, the taboo that's killing Pakistani women. This is by The Diplomat. Up next, how soon will the seas rise? This is by Quantum Magazine. Up next, effects effect of atmosphere on a planet's dayside temperatures by NASA. Up next, 83 arrests in landmark African operation against terrorism financing. This is by Interpol. Up next, I really like this story. This is by Air and Space Force magazines. This is the F-117, the future of stealth. As you know, the F-117 was one of my favorite aircraft, jet fighter, for a very long time because it's a stealth fighter. Obviously, my favorite aircraft right now is but of course, the SR-72, Dark Star, son of Blackbird. This is an amazing aircraft, very secretive, and everyone's trying to steal the blueprints. You cannot find them anywhere, and it's huge. It's humongous. It's a big ass fucking plane. It's humongous, and it does Mach 6, Mach 6, and we hope that with future technology, it'll be able to do Mach 10. It's gonna take some time. It will happen. Up next by Airman Magazine. This is Why Things Matter. Check it out. Up next, what to expect at Super Street after Dark 2025. SoCal's newest one-night car culture experience is by Super Streets on Motor Trend. And then there we go. Then I put my 2 cents where I'm like, I hope everybody had a good weekend, and make sure you get everything done this week, because this weekend is going to be Halloween. Have fun, be safe. And I'm going to make a Coffee with Zack vlog right now in English. And ladies, be careful what you're wearing for Halloween. Have a battery pack for your phone inside your purse. And don't go too bananas. Father of the Year award 2025 has not been decided yet. So have fun. And I'm going to do more, another video in French tomorrow. And if you're having parties this weekend, for Halloween, be safe. I suggest you do have cosplay parties where you dress up for Cyberpunk or for any other game, whether it's Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth or Final Fantasy or Battlefield or whatever. But I'm going to try to do my best and try to have a live stream for Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty as I continue the story in Japanese with English audio. I really love the game. As you know, I'm an otaku. I'm a geek nerd, otaku, and I'm a gamer, and I love this stuff. And maybe I will meet a woman. As you know, I'm single. I'm divorced. If I could meet a woman that loves this kind of stuff, whether it is, world technology, world affairs, affaires étrangères, electronic music, anime, Japanimation, manga, and video games. So books as well. So let's hope I find someone. I don't have a dating app. I have some, but I can't afford the cost to have a premium subscription, so I can't message anybody. So I am on Boo, BOO. That's the dating app that I like the most right now, but I can't afford it. I don't have the premium subscription. So as soon as I have funds to get a premium subscription, hopefully by Christmas, I'll get a membership for, hopefully there's a discount so I can get it for a year, and then hopefully I'll have a year to hopefully meet a woman, meet that special someone. Thank you all for watching. Love y'all, miss y'all, and a big shout out to everyone trick-or-treating. Please be safe. Please listen to your parents. Please don't eat all your candy so you don't get diabetes. And bye y'all. Until next time, everything's on the website, Zack.coffee. Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Oh, and a big shout out to the Michael J. Fox Foundation for the search for Parkinson's disease for a cure. I was able to do the 100-hour marathon for this month of October. I got to 46 hours, and I did my best. That's all the time I could have with the privacy that I had. I didn't have that much privacy. And it was awesome. We played for a good cause. And I really appreciate it. If you could please make a donation, the fundraiser link is on my one of my YouTube videos, and I really appreciate it. And as always, if you want to help me purchase or donate a vehicle to me, I need a car. Please go to my PayPal, paypal.me/IamZaki. That's paypal.me/IamZaki. Much appreciated. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.